Hello everybody, it is me Dimitrov, taking over for the Holy Commentator today. Hopefully you're invested into the video already with very terrible Russian accent. And this is 4 in the morning right now and I wanted to record the video and here we are with the video to here. Now you're kind of invested. What is poppin', everybody? It's me, the Holy Commentator here. Today I want to talk about the downfall of Call of Duty. Now, I want to just say that Call of Duty has obviously lost its identity, and it's, very obvious to a lot of people who've seen it, and just kind of really kicked my brain into high gear as I saw this, tweet here by Wildcat. And I kind of just wanted to discuss exactly how and why I believe it lost identity completely. And let me just get this straight here already ahead of time. I'm definitely not a COD hater. I've, enjoyed COD for a very long time, and the whole entire Holy Commentator stuff comes from the fact that I used to commentate Call of Duty and still do. If that video was up, I'm putting it right around here. Yeah, right there. So of course, if you want to go check that out. But either way, I enjoy Black Ops 6. I, enjoyed Modern Warfare 2 when it was released, and a lot of people didn't enjoy it even for that. I enjoyed Modern Warfare 2019 a hell of a lot. I enjoyed Call of Duty Black Ops 3. All these games that I enjoyed are from the COD series that I still believe has lost identity greatly. And I'm not going to say it's going to be lost in nostalgia, and a lot of people are going to say it's because of nostalgia that Call of Duty lost identity. But I have a couple of reasons that come off the top of my head that I want to discuss here before I, drive myself insane. So, of course, if you guys like this video, do me a favor, like and subscribe. And, of course, go down in the comments below. Tell me what you guys think about the COD series, even before we get into this. And then you can retype, edit your comment afterwards just to, see if your shit lines up to mine. I don't know. Either way, enjoy the video. Now I'm ready to make a video. The very first thing I want to mention before we even talk about the campaigns here and discuss them in detail is nostalgia. Now, of course, already ahead of time, just before I even get those in the comments below, or of course if it's already in the back of your mind and I just want to get it out of your head and get it out of my own crazy, messed up skull. It is very clear that some of the stuff I'm about to say for the campaign, multiplayer, and zombies comes down to nostalgia, what you remember as a kid, what everybody remembers as a kid, and that could be a contributing factor. And I do want to say that ahead of time as we get into this video, because it is very clear that it is 100% a factor. However, it is not the only factor, and it should not be the only thing that you should consider ahead of time at all in any way, shape, or form. And let me tell you exactly why. I'm going to bring up 2 Call of Duty missions, and you need to tell me which one you would rather play. And I have some kind of ideas of why I'd rather play one over the other. Let's start off with this one right here. Now this over here is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. This is the very first COD game that comes out when the, modern series of the Call of Duty games. Now, this is All Gillied Up if you haven't been able to check it out, but All Gillied Up is an amazing mission. Start to finish, it is absolutely fantastic. You go through, you go snipe a couple of people so you can take out a Russian arms dealer at the very end of the mission, and then you have to make a huge, gigantic, bombastic escape to a helicopter to be evac'd out. Now, that is a very simplistic mission-ish, comparatively, especially to the new Call of Duty games. And speaking of new Call of Duty games, would you rather play that COD Modern Warfare 4 mission or the new remastered Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 mission right here? This is basically the same as All Gillied Up, has some of the same lines and some of the same Easter eggs. However, it is missing and lacking something. And I would honestly say, and this is going to be crazy to most people, it is simplicity. In Modern Warfare 4, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, it focused on what you saw ahead of you. And having that idea is somewhat good. Now, it's really strange to me because I really do enjoy an open world aspect of being able to find everything that you want around you. I like the idea of being able to search for the stuff that you want, pick up some really cool gear, find some really cool Easter eggs across the map, and not really have any limiting factor of what you can do in a video game. I love that. It's great. I play Fallout for God's sake. I love that game. However, it does not work for Call of Duty. And I'm going to give you another example for you to really refresh your mind here. Would you rather play this Call of Duty Black Ops 6 open world mission or any of the Call of Duty Black Ops 1 campaign? Now, I don't know what you guys are going to say. Most of it comes down to personal taste, and especially if you're younger, you may not even know how good the old Call of Duty Black Ops 1 games were. However, it has a factor to it that's been absolutely fantastic, and we're going to be pointing out one mission in particular in Black Ops. We're going to pick it out of a hat here, and it's going to be Vorkuta.
This is step 1! Security! Now, we take Vorkuta! What is
And I think that's the easiest one to do because, first of all, you have amazing characters, amazing writing, and just a very straightforward mission that shouldn't work well, but does. Also, another reason I'm choosing Vorkuta is it's somewhat open world. It's not really open world, but it has some factors that you would see in this other Black Ops 6 COD campaign mission. And let me tell you exactly why. In this Black Ops 1 mission here that you see, you have a very simplistic setup. You need to break out of a prison, you're a Mason, you're stuck in there with a good Russian guy named Reznov, Viktor Reznov, who's also in World at War, which review of World at War will be coming out very shortly. Hope you guys enjoyed that video when it is released. But either way, you guys try to go break out of a prison. It is very one-legged, one-layered. You try to get out, you pick up some more weapons along the way as you get out, and you do some other side stuff. Like, harpoon the wicked beast! And you take it out of the sky, and you take a helicopter right out of the sky. Or, of course, you have this other one where you have to try and take out these huge, gigantic guard towers using these weird Molotov cocktail slingshot things that you send directly at these guard towers to blow them up. Very simplistic stuff. You get a mini gun at the very end of the mission. You go and drive on a motorbike on the way up. Very simplistic mission, not open world, very central. Now, in this Black Ops 6 mission, you go and you try in the middle of the desert to, bring back, I'm pretty sure it's Iraq. We go into that, and it's an open world mission. You have a bunch of different ideas that you can do. You can take out SAM sites, you can help some certain Marines or Army Rangers, I'm pretty sure, that ended up getting crashed in the middle of the desert. You have all these other side quests of trying to take out some of these outposts, and also try to take out some main missiles, huge gigantic missiles, the Missiles Mason, right? And of course, on top of that, you have some more other missions that will grant you some other really cool kill streaks that you can use in the mission, like being able to drop these really cool bombs on people, or a chopper gunner, or even a helicopter that you unlock just purely based off the main quest there. It is a good idea, and I genuinely enjoyed this mission. However, I will say that I enjoyed Vorkuta more than Black Ops 6 because I feel like, and here's the kicker right here of how Call of Duty lost identity, that the simplicity of the COD campaign and the idea that they chose every single mission to try and innovate worked better in Black Ops 1 than it did with Black Ops 6. Now, Black Ops 6 identity is very simple and straightforward. Most of the time, if you look at any of the COD games in the past, any of the COD games you and I enjoy, that you and I want to have it remastered, it is always very simplistic. You follow the main mission, you follow it to the very end, you follow a character, you do some crazy cool stuff along the way, and you reach the end of the mission while learning more about your comrades and friends. With Black Ops 6, for example, it doesn't work well. It is too complex, there's too many layers, and not calling anybody stupid, because I am fucking absolutely retarded. I need to be in a special ed class sometimes, but for some weird reason, it just does not click the same way the old Call of Duty Black Ops games did. And I can even compare it to Black Ops 3, for example. The Black Ops 3 campaign was a huge, gigantic mess from start to finish. However, it did have some really cool ideas, like, the walking through the frozen forest when you're in there. And in general, it's supposed to be an allegory for death, right? And you walk through, and it's a whole World War II battlefield thing, and you're able to fight through it. It's a cool idea, but it's way too complex to be able to follow that along. In Black Ops 1, it is almost simple, right? Mason is brainwashed. You need to make sure that you get him unbrainwashed so he can go and he can find this radio broadcast that's about to fuck up America. Very simple. That works very, very well. Black Ops 3, Black Ops 6, for some weird reason, it just doesn't click that same way. And that's what they're trying to do. I think they're genuinely trying to do too much, and instead of focusing on completing a story, which you don't really have in Black Ops 6, you don't really have in Black Ops 3, and you don't really have in any of the Modern Warfare games, that really doesn't wrap up everything with a perfect bow at the very end like you did in the original Call of Duty series, that's where the problem starts, and that's where you see the whole entire divide from the old COD games to the new COD games, at least in the campaign. Now, again, nostalgia is a big factor. Just want to mention that real quick before we go and talk about the multiplayer. But it's very clear. Call of Duty, when it comes down to the campaigns, need to be simplistic, return to their whole entire main story, and if they do want to try and innovate, they've done it before. Look what they did with Black Ops. Look what they did with Modern Warfare. All the crazy stuff. Riding down a dinghy, trying to take out Commander Shepard. Commander Shepard? You know what I mean. General Shepard. Same people. They're all the Shepard in the end, and I like both games. But either way, you try and go take him out. It is very crazy stuff. but it works. It's simplistic. It gets down to the point. You follow the mission. You're able to learn more about the mission in the end, most of the time, like a real soldier. Now, with that being said, let's go talk about how the multiplayer is really starting to lose identity as well in the Call of Duty series.
Fuck up, faggot. Look at you, you're prestige. Prestige, you fucking fag. Tell me what the fuck it is, huh? Tell me what the huh?
You hear that? That's what I remember from the Call of Duty series. Why do you think I started commenting? Right there. That's the reason right there. Now, tune that out of your ears for a second. Go.
Betrayal.
Get out of here. Call of Duty was always based around two big things: the players playing it and the satisfaction that you got from using weapons. Now, with Call of Duty Black Ops 1, you had a very simple idea of how to get weapons. You earn money, you go to the shop, you buy what you want, you buy the attachments you want, you buy all the crazy stuff that you want, and play it in game. And most of the weapons felt useful. Even when I'm playing against friends in 1v1s and split screens and all this kind of fun stuff, I genuinely have very simple class setups and I use almost every single weapon. No matter exactly how much damage they do, it always seems to be like every single weapon has a purpose. And if you really want to talk about that, look at Modern Warfare 2. Every single weapon has a purpose. There's a guy online that has gone through a whole entire playlist of exactly every single weapon and their use in multiplayer. That is where satisfaction comes from, and leveling up and prestiging. It always grants you the stuff that you want and the stuff that you need, and also amazing map design. You go look at the original Call of Duty, they're still copying Nuketown from Black Ops 1. Right? They did try to do something with, Black Ops 6, and they tried to change up Nuketown a little bit, and I'm vomiting everywhere because of that. But either way, it was something better back then compared to what you have nowadays. Now, again, with that being said, I genuinely believe the new Call of Duty games are just becoming too fucking sweaty. I'd rather not have sweat drip down my ballsack while I'm playing video games, because it's really starting to get frustrating. In the past, let's just say, everybody was a noob, and of course, with this new culture around gaming, everything is hyper competitive, and that kind of makes sense. Everybody has a TTV. I have a YT in my fucking Call of Duty name, of course, but it's for a separate reason, of course. But either way, but it comes down to how competitive COD has gotten, which is a good thing and a bad thing for Call of Duty in a sense when it comes down to multiplayer and how the weapons are used. Right? Nowadays in Black Ops 6, everybody's using the optimal weapons after they level up every weapon, right? You see these huge gigantic fucking nerds walking around with these whole entire diamond camos, like, oh my god, look at me, I'm so good at this video game. I got diamond camo, and now I'm gonna fuck around with the best guns of the game playing multiplayer and S&D while I sweat my nutsack off and touch myself inappropriately to what's happening on screen. Like, it's really starting to become a problem here these days. But with all that being said, that's the biggest problem. There was a competitive kind of mix in Call of Duty. We had the ranked playlist, and then you had the unranked fun core playlist. Of course, let me give you an example, right? Everybody unranked was ranked purely based off of skill. And in the past, if you wanted to do core, it mixed every fucker together. Every single person, regardless of your skill. You can have one person that's level 1000, but you can also have one person that's level 2. It doesn't really matter, but do you know what that did? It was able to be absolutely matched perfectly, and how you wanted everything in the end. It is so frustrating if you look at it, everything nowadays, where it's not matched perfectly. You go in the past, you had a perfect matchup 80% of the time, I feel like. Of course, you may have that one player that's stomping fuckers, but at very least, if he's stomping you, you can stomp the other fucking noobs. And if there's new noobs in the game, they want to get better because they at least kill a couple of the other noobs on the enemy team. It works out perfectly. The whole entire matchup, the whole entire creation of everything, it works out extremely well. But they decided to change it for, I don't even know why they wanted to do skill-based matchmaking, when every single time a new Call of Duty has been released for the past how long, all we've been doing is begging for a ranked playlist. A ranked playlist that you already had in the original Call of Duties. Why did you screw it up? Why did you change it? I don't even know. I don't even know why I'm making this video anymore. But either way, that's the biggest problem. Everybody is hyper competitive, and on top of that, if it's so hyper competitive, everything is also super fucking sterilized. Holy shit. Now here's the thing, and I'm gonna admit to a crime on Activision here. I have multiple Call of Duty accounts. I know, everybody get your gasps out of the way, everybody put your penises away and everything else like that, thinking that I was, a real COD legend with only one Call of Duty account. Oh, boo-hoo. Now, everybody's gonna be asking why. Is it because I want to restart the grind? Is it because of skill-based matchmaking? No, it's because of none of that. It's the one thing that everybody knows from Call of Duty, and the way that I started this whole entire multiplayer section up. You ready? This.
I love the work.
I've been working on that for 3 years straight. I hope you do like that.
You did very good.
But either way, we're about to get to this next round. Joe,
Let's go, guys.
you said hello to the whole entire team here. What do you have to say for yourself in this next round of the Virtual World Cup? Do you have a strategy to get to this?
Yeah!
He does have a strategy. His testosterone is finally kicking in. He's been huffing paint for 3 years straight, and it's finally affecting him. What do you got to say? What's your strategy here, Joe?
Hostile spring mine.
Just run in and
Holy this guy's strategies are insane. Napoleon would be blowing this guy under the table if he heard that strategy. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Shit talk in Call of Duty and shit talk in gaming in general. And it should have a place in gaming, especially in Call of Duty. Should it be 100% sterilized, and should every single person have, you know, be restricted for what they say? No. And should every single person be able to say whatever the fuck they want online? Also no, but we're bordering on the edge of censorship, and in Call of Duty, it just doesn't work. It is an adult fan base, and I've been banned multiple times for saying stuff that I've been able to say to adults in real life and adults in person. This is an 18+ game. I should not be restricted because I said I just drink whiskey on a daily basis, or the fact that I take Adderall, or some other shit like that. Like, I go into detail. You can watch my commentating videos here if it's already up, like I said in the very beginning of the video, where you kind of understand what I say and how I get banned. And I get banned every couple of games, while on the other side, people are saying the N-word constantly. Their new system and how they regulate this kind of stuff does not work. So if you put all this stuff together, what do you have? It's very simple. You have skill-based matchmaking that makes every single game a whole entire sweat fest where people are snorting G Fuel and they're just jerking themselves off to what's happening on screen. You have another area where all the weapons do not feel satisfying, and most of the time you have super unbalanced weapons that just absolutely dominate the whole entire game. Now, of course, you had that with like Modern Warfare 2 with the Model 1887 shotguns, or of course you had the ACR, but every weapon felt perfect in that game. Every weapon in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 does not feel, you know, perfect. Because of the skill-based matchmaking, it screws up the system as well. Because if you need to sweat every single game, you're not going to use a weapon you don't normally use because you know you're going to get fucking stomped. I don't use snipers often, and the reason because of that is because every single time I pick up a sniper, it's because Captain fucking, you know, Sweat Lord over there doing 360 no-scopes in his own spawn before the thing even begins is still somehow shooting me with a sniper rifle before I even put my scope up. You know, he's perfected everything in this class, and I have not done that yet at all. And again, the games that I do have that are really okay and right in the middle, whether I'm in the top 3 or not, are fun. However, there's also games where I get my asshole blown out like I was at a Diddy party. It's one of the above, and that's exactly what the problem is with the multiplayer. It's lost identity in that form. It's too sterilized where you cannot really say anything and shit talk at a game that is hyper competitive like this, and the way that you're trying to put it is hyper competitive should be allowed, and it isn't allowed, is that mixed with the skill-based matchmaking, and also on top of that, the fact that everybody is just, I have no fucking clue anymore. The weapons are just not being used to their full sandbox in their full way, and it just tears everybody apart from multiplayer, and it makes me not want to play Black Ops 6 anymore. I enjoyed it in the first 2 weeks, but after that, it's gone. I barely touched it after that. I was trying to, you know, genuinely prestige, trying to grind weapon camos, but after a while, it's the same stuff every time. And if I get stomped in a game after I come home from work, the last thing I want to do is just play the game more after that. Try and retry it. It just doesn't make any sense, and it makes the whole entire multiplayer not necessarily unplayable, but something that you can't enjoy to its full extent like you could in the past games. And here we are with the final part, which is the mix of zombies and Spec Ops, which I'm going to be comparing them both to what their roots used to be, and most of the time with the best of, you know, both sides of the old and the new. Now let's go talk quickly about zombies, the thing that I know most about because I used to really play this, and of course I used to go look at all the zombies lore and exactly how that works. Now, very simple. Very first thing about zombies is World at War, and let's go look at Black Ops itself. What zombies maps came out on Black Ops? You had 2, actually 3. You had Dead Ops Arcade, you had 5, and of course you have Kino der Toten, the German map, of course, that takes place in a German movie theater. Now, these maps were perfect. You had a definitely easier map, which is Kino der Toten, or actually technically easiest being Dead Ops Arcade. And then, of course, you had Kino der Toten, which was one of the easier ones to try to, you know, push you into the right directions of how you play zombies and let you get used to the controls and let you get used to the gameplay as a very simple and easy pack-a-punch system that every single player can enjoy. And of course, to finalize it, you have 5, which is a way more complex map to try and do. It takes a lot more time to try to get used to everything, and it's more for the players that have gotten sick of King Arthur Toten. And this is all free content that comes with the game. Now, Black Ops 6, I have to say, does return to form when it comes to zombies, and that's why I only see my friends playing Call of Duty Zombies instead of Call of Duty multiplayer or even the campaign, because I enjoy the zombies. It is great. You have 2 maps, and I don't remember the names of them because I don't play, Black Ops 6 zombies too often, but clearly it does something right. You have the very first map, of course, which is the small American town, which you can just easily go through the church and then open up Pack-a-Punch, and you can have fun grinding that. And of course, you have side missions as well, which actually works really well for Black Ops 6 zombies. And of course, you have the other map, the more complex map, the more open, prison map here that you can see on screen. It is really well made, and it is very perfect in how that works. But if you're going to compare that to, Black Ops 4 Zombies, which only comes with 1 Zombies map that was okay in the end and really switched its formula from what you see in the original Call of Duty games. Or, of course, Call of Duty World War II. The Zombies game behind that was not nearly as good as you see with the older Call of Duty campaigns. It was very sterilized, and it really tried to do something more scary. I'm happy and appreciate the fact they tried to mix it up a little bit, but it did not fit to what people knew as zombies. And you even look at Black Ops 3, it came with 1, or technically 2 if you include Dead Ops Arcade, 1 or 2 free maps with that kind of gameplay. And it was a good map, I have to say, but it was nothing so incredibly special as you see in the original Call of Duty games. And even Black Ops 2, you could say, only has 1 map that's free, but it's fucking gigantic. You have to literally take a bus to go around the whole entire map on transit, and it makes a little bit more sense. It's a mix of complex and easy, especially if you just want to chill and you want to shoot some zombies. You can choose and select small towns and small compartments of the zombies map, and it somehow works perfectly in the way that it formulates itself. And again, if you compare that to all the newer zombies games, you just don't see that as often. And the same really goes for Spec Ops and the amount of effort that they put into it. You look at the original Spec Ops missions, it's super cool. You have the snowmobiling one, you have, of course, the holdout missions, you have the other individual missions of, trying to survive or trying not to get detected, like you have in the all gillied up kind of mission that you have in the newer old generation of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare games, and it was perfect. But if you compare that to Modern Warfare 2019 that tried to, reignite the Spec Ops kind of stuff, it was broken at launch and had some really mid missions as far as I can tell and as far as I can hear, and that's not a good sign for a game that has been released in the newer generation. I don't like these games being released broken. I don't like, Spec Ops being released broken, whether I played it too much or not. Fix your game and finish it. And this, which you don't have a problem with the older COD campaigns, and you'll lose its identity with this. If every single time you open up a new COD campaign, you can't play a single game mode because, of course, it is broken at launch, then why are you staying, and why would you want to play that COD campaign instead of the last good COD campaign that you played a while ago? I can't tell, and I can't really make the difference, and I can't really make a good choice behind that. And that's the problem. Why not, and why should I? When it comes down to the newer COD campaigns and the older COD campaigns. It's just how it is, and just how they formulate it. Of course, they add more content into the older Call of Duty campaigns when it came to zombies and Spec Ops, and they add less into the newer games. I have to say, really quickly, Black Ops 6 did very good with this, but it was not nearly as good as you can see with the older COD campaigns. Now, with all that being said, and my throat being unbelievably dry, and I don't want to stop this whole entire recording to go and get myself a drink, but either way, I hope you guys understand exactly why I think COD's identity has fallen away and is really starting to crack, and I really hope that Activision can actually fix something with this. Now, of course, if you do like this video, do me a favor, like and subscribe, and of course, put down in the comments below exactly what you guys think, what's your favorite Call of Duty game, and all this fun stuff. And I'll see y'all next time. This is me, the Holy Commentator, signing off for now.